top sports where the takes don't miss. The prof with the stats, the champ with the fist. Water bringing fire, cowboy tie riding bold. Bulls calling bets, watch the stories unfold. And it's truly running the show. It's high top sports, baby.
Let's get it. Let's go. Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the episode of High Top Sports. Good to see you. Happy to have you here. Happy Friday afternoon. Little pop-up show here in the afternoon because Johnny is literally snapping right now. I've never seen anything like it. It's like basically he just points and he goes and grunts and they commit. That's kind of seems how this thing is flowing right now for the Florida Gators and Johnny Tsunami. The guy is on an absolute tear. He understands momentum. He understands how to capitalize. We are trending for in my opinion, one of the top wide receivers in the portal. In fact, just a year ago, he was the number one wide receiver in the portal and was fourth overall behind three quarterbacks. This man was must see and must get TV just 2 years ago. Now, the school that he went to may have caused a different outlook of how he appears now. But if we add him to the arsenal that we already have, on top of this running back room, hold on to your nuts, okay? Because this thing, the lies are going to, I didn't think they could get more egregious, but it feels like they can. We're going to dive into that later on. But also, massive retention. Brendan Bett, Ben Hanks, Jalen Wiggins, bada bing, bada boom. They all coming back, baby. That's a wrap. That is the entirety of the roster. Remember, everyone, there's going to be 40 to 50. We're losing everybody. The way they're handling this, y'all remember this, right? The staff's not talking to anybody. They're mismanaging all of this nonsense. They're rude. They're not doing anything right. Everybody came back. Where you at? Where you at? I digress. We'll talk about that, but then the two commits today. Some more offensive line help, which I think brings the total up to 4 O-line commits now, if I'm not mistaken. Now, again, I still think, even with these commits, there is still going to be a sense of, I don't want to say worrisome, but that's going to be my question mark as of now headed into the offseason. However, we're going to take a look at it. I'm going to show you something. And maybe, it might change the way that we view this whole entire situation. Smash the like button, subscribe. We are on the way to 50 G's by the end of 2026. All right, so we don't get there. All right, we don't get there unless you smash the button. You feel me? Here we go. Let's take a look at the super chats here. $2, Sean. I'm ready to lie. Where the piss missiles? That was a good time. We haven't talked about piss missiles in a minute. $5. Errol Singleton. Are you kidding me? I'm summing all over the place, brother, man. You know what I mean? Insane stuff. So we get offensive tackle Mika or Gorgie. Easy. Okay, pause. He commits from Stanford. He was a true freshman last season. We're not going to take a look at those PFF grades, okay? It's not the shiniest you've ever seen. But Clark actually brought up a really good point to this young man on Wednesday's show that this guy started as a true freshman, as an offensive tackle on a not-so-very good line. And we have to take into consideration a couple of things here. One, again, Troutwine looked at him and goes, I like what he can do. I've seen his development. He's got a lot of playing time. He's going to be sharp. Bring him over here. We'll be just fine. I'm not worried about the grade. Love his size. Love his technique. Love his ability and his attention, whatever it may be. But you have to keep in mind, we cut a lot of lower-end fat off this offensive line. So how I look at it, okay, I'm very excited about this because we are now bringing a guy that has P4 started experience, that was a top-tier, a higher-end recruit just 2 years ago, to come in and be part of this depth piece. So you got rid of guys like Noel Portaganto, who didn't play, Ignac Wango, that went over to JMU with Billy, Marcus Maskell, that was going into his third year. I think he was probably going to be a little more. But again, none of these guys even saw the field, ever. Now, would they have saw the field at Stanford? Probably. That's not the point that I'm getting at. I think we're bringing in a very good depth piece here, and I'm very excited about what it can be. Again, everything's not going to be a home run or a knockout. Like the commitment. Love that they're, again, this is still a piece towards the trenches, and I'm a fan of it. Here's the big one. Harrison Moore, inside offensive line, played center for Georgia Tech. He can switch to that guard if need be. Finally committed to the Florida Gators. We've been trending him for the last couple of days. It felt like it was going to be a shoo-in, but it's never obviously certain until that pen hits the paper. Maybe Florida Victoria's had to wait for the Brinks truck to back up to sign this guy. I don't know. Okay, because they are spending every last dollar that they have. I saw some people on Twitter. Now, Florida fan base is concerned. They're like, are we going to have enough for the recruiting class? Now we're worried about how much we're spending. It's never enough. It's either too much or not enough. You know what I mean? That's just kind of the world that we're going to live in. Let's take a look at Mr. Harrison Moore's PFF grading, shall we? Let's take a gander. Let's take a just nice little sniff at this bad boy real quick. 6'5", 300 pounds, maybe a couple more LBs in there. We'll be rocking and rolling. You can see his freshman grade was a 68.8. Probably didn't get a lot of snaps that year, but I think either way, 68.8. And then in his sophomore year, 65.3. And you're like, Sheldon, that doesn't really tickle my fancy. That doesn't really get me out of bed in the morning. Okay? Why are you so fired up, Disney Gator? Sheldon, why are you so optimistic about this guy? What is it? And don't tell me because he's a yellow jacket and he played with Buster Faulkner. That's the easy stuff. Don't tell me because he's been part of the system, so he's going to understand it. He's been hiking the ball off to Aaron Philo. He's used his hands underneath his crotch. I don't need that part, Sheldon. I already know that. Why else are you excited, Sheldon? Well, let me tell you. You're sitting there good. Let's talk about it a little bit because offensive line take time. Offensive linemen have to be developed. They grow into their role, okay? When you can get into those third and fourth years is where they really find their rhythm. We had, I would say, a pretty darn good center for the last 2 years. One would even say he earned himself a brick. One would even say he earned himself a first-round draft pick, depending on where you look. Could we all agree on that? Can we all sit down around the table, whether we hate, love, disagree, or on the same page, wearing Disney ears or not? We can all agree that Jake Slaughter was Himothy, right? Did his job. Blue-collar guy. Yeah? Do we know what his PFF grades were his first 2 years and then how it escalated for his last 3 years because he redshirted his freshman year? I'll tell you. I'm glad you asked. Here he is. 59.0 his freshman year in 2021. It's a long time ago. COVID was still around. And then in 2022, 69.4. And then, bam, buddy showed up. Said, hello, I'm here. In that 77.8 year, I'm pretty sure he was still sitting behind Ngakoue, I believe is who it was, if I'm not mistaken. And then, obviously, for the last 2 years, took over that starting role. So my point is that if history repeats itself, and I understand that things always go that way, but that is kind of what you're looking for is true progression, right? And the offensive linemen grow into it. Do you have the rarity where guys are just absolute dudes coming out? Absolutely. And look at the size, 6'4", 303. What was Harrison Moore? 6'5", 300. So that's what excites me. Is that, and I remember going into the year that Jake Slaughter had his All-American season last year. We were excited about it. We knew that we had a sound guy because we knew he had been in the system for quite some time. But when we talked about it, it's like, hey, do we got a guy that's proven? Do we got a guy that has a lot of reps? We didn't know. Now, during that time, I remember it very, very well. We had a lot of other things that we were talking about going into that year, right? We had a lot of other things that we were talking about. Graham Mertz, DJ Lagway. We were distracted by all kinds of stuff going into last year's offensive line. We added the Damian Georges. Jake Slaughter was the least of our concern or even thought process because of how much chaos was going around. But we've all settled in. We're seeing what Miami is doing. We understand the assignment. You got to build in the trenches, and that's why I love this move. So now you've added 3 guys in TJ Shanahan and Egan Boyer and Jake Slaughter. And now, of course, Harrison Moore, who in some capacity have worked with this coaching staff and in their offense. So you got 3 familiar faces across this line, plus Aaron Philo if he is your starting quarterback. So 4 key pieces. So when you think usually when a coach takes over, you're like, we're starting over, we're resetting. But there's going to be a little bit of, carryover from what this offense was already doing elsewhere, what Buster was already moving, rocking and rolling with. And you're seeing this all over college football, right? Penn State Nittany Lions, they're the Penn State Cyclones now. They literally just uplifted Iowa State and moved them to Penn State. Oklahoma State, you know what's crazy? If you take a look at the transfer portal rankings, let me see what they are as of now, because I wanted to see where Florida is anyways. I want to see where they rank, where the teams rank currently, and then I'll continue on with my thought here in just a moment. Oklahoma State ranks 10th in the transfer portal. Give me a quick second. Florida is... Where'd Florida go? Yeah, Florida's now 27th. Again, this thing is weird. We literally talked about it the other day. They were 17th, and we got 4 more commits, and it went the other direction. I don't understand it. Anywho, Oklahoma State ranks 10th. What does that matter, Sheldon? Because all they did is they've taken the entire North Texas team and moved them to Oklahoma State. Nothing against that North Texas team, but that North Texas team got their ass whooped against Tulane. who got their ass whipped against Ole Miss. So you're telling me that this is a top 10 roster in the transfer portal, but couldn't hold its candle against Tulane? Because all you're doing is just moving guys. Now, I know there's other pieces. Don't get it twisted. But you're just literally uplifting a G5 team and moving it. That's it. That's it. That's why these transfer portal rankings you got to take with a grain of salt. That was my only point. And I'm not hating on it. Oklahoma State, I think, will have a fantastic year next year. I like the coach. I think they got a lot of familiarity faces going all over there. And look, Indiana did with JMU. This isn't like a shot. I'm just telling you, like, if you're looking at it hey, the portal rankings are kind of wonky. They're kind of wonky. That's all that I'm saying. That's all that I'm saying. All right? We got almost 600 people in here, guys. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. So, we'll see. We'll see here. A couple super chats. I'm loving it. Yeah, but again, it's back to the offensive lineman, back to where the team is headed. Again, 2 great pickups today with the offensive lineman, adding to that depth. Will they continue to go elsewhere? I don't know. But right now, their eyes seem to be on a certain position, and that position group is wide receiver. Now, I do want to talk about where are we at currently with the additions of who we've added before we get into their other targets. Oh, let's talk about who they've retained again. Ben Hanks coming back for his sophomore year. Brendan Bett. So now this defensive line has stability. You've got on the edges, Cameron James, LJ McCray. What's that young man's? Oh, that's right, Jaden Woods returning as well. Not to mention Jalen Wiggins signed. I think that's going to be a sneaky. That is my dark night. We always pick one every single year. I'm already going to go ahead and put it on the table. Jalen Wiggins. Remember the name. I don't think I've missed for the last 3 years. It was George Gums 2 years ago, planted the flag at the end of the year. We all found out who George Gums was. Jaden Woods, I want to say, was my guy going into this year. Maybe it was Miles Graham. Either way, I wasn't wrong. This year, I'm getting an early RPM on Mr. Jalen Wiggins. If Jalen Wiggins can play, and I think that he'll bring what Jaden Woods brought last year, and you have Jaden Woods, and you have experience in Cameron James, and you have an unknown commodity in LJ McCray, this edge room can be a lot better than what we thought, right? And then you go into the interior line. You've got Jamari Lyons coming back, Brendan Bett that were sound pieces, Joseph Mabachu. You've got Jarayla McCoy that's on that edge, could switch in. And, of course, we've got Bruv all the way over from England coming over as well. I think he will slide in, and that is going to be a big plug-in piece. Brian Taylor, I believe, is also returning. So now all of a sudden this defensive line is starting to get some depth, some mobility. You brought in the kid from Baylor for some more depth. Go get me 1 or 2 more dudes, I think is what we probably need. I got to see it on paper, right? I'm trying to think of everybody. I know I'm missing some names. Obviously, some guys coming in. I didn't even mention Kendall Gerville or KJ Ford. You know what I mean? Again, those are freshman guys. So you take those with a grain of salt. You know, you don't know what the ceiling can be or the floor. That's like a penny stock. Okay, you don't know what you're getting just quite yet. You think you do, but you really don't. You really don't. So we'll keep an eye out on those two as well. So let me take a look at these quick super chats here. Just wanted to say I love y'all and still being lurking in the shadows watching. What's up, Mike Lowry? Bro, I was just thinking about you today, bro. LFG. I know that sounds weird. But I was thinking, here's why. I'll tell you what, quick story. Listen to Zach B, new album, Fire Flames Boys Cinema, okay? And he was talking about being in this is where my head goes. Talking about being in the service for 8 years. And I was like, man, what a life to be like that. And I was like, man, it's kind of like Literates, but he's just getting followed all over the world. We don't hear from him anymore. And here you are. Small world, right? Or small brain. Either one. I don't know. $5 we got from Christine. Says, I'm 10 toes deep in the Kool-Aid. Go Gators. You're telling me. It is. Here's the thing. Here's where and again, I told you we were going to judge everything. We were going to compare it to other teams, the other coaching staffs that got hired. Arkansas gets a new coach. Auburn gets a new coach. LSU gets a new coach, and Arkansas gets a new coach. And I told you we're going to compare it to all of them. You're going to compare it to all the guys that are in our division that got new coaches. How do we navigate through that? And I'm probably going to be a bit biased, but damn near it's LSU is going to be a lot shinier because of what Lane is. But right now in the portal, the knees are rattling a little bit. I'm just calling it what it is. We're just calling a spade a spade. They did a great job of retaining their class. Got to give them a great grade on that. I think they put a good staff around them as well. The portal is where, again, it's not closed yet, so we can't give them a full grade. And retention has been a concern for LSU. Obviously, portal is a factor into that. So John has done a phenomenal job in all capacities of that. And what are some of the Florida fans we've always say, right? How can we not get this guy? How could you not want to come play for the University of Florida. And this is a big conversation we would have, man. When we got DJ Lagway, we felt like we had this incredible recruiting piece. Like you just go put him in front of people, and it's like, how do you not want to come play with this guy, right? I mean, Jeremiah Smith comes in, Colin Simmons comes in, and they go, we have DJ, come play. And then nobody came and played. And we were like, why? What is happening? And we blamed it on money, which was probably part of it. Let's be honest. I know it was part of it. But now here we are without we've got a staff now with zero record, with any type of anything to prove outside of Buster. And there are guys that have history. So I can't say it's not completely just a blank canvas here. They have a little bit of a history, which is my point. Because that's the difference. This staff has history. This staff has a blueprint to show you I've done this at this level and have had success, and here's how you're going to fit. And also, here we're going to pay you too because we're not misspending the money, right? The fact that we've got, and we're going to go ahead and this is a great transition, Eric Singleton. Do I not have the... Yeah, Eric Singleton being crystal ball to us, and we'll get into Eric Singleton here in just a little bit more, with the likes of Dallas Wilson, with the likes of VB3, with the likes of, who else we got in this damn wide receiver crew? Justin Williams, Davion Gross. This wide receiver core, in my opinion, very top-heavy, very elite. If you add Eric Singleton to the mix, on top of the Micah Mays, the Wake Forest kid, on top of the freshman coming in, holy shit. Holy shit, right? This is the shit we've been talking about. And now all of a sudden it's like, yeah, now they're committed, and you're like, yeah, it's the Florida Gators. Why wouldn't you commit? And you ask the question and you see that the people trolling in here because that's the highlight of their life. It's like, hey, well, Aaron Philo, I'm asking the same thing. Offensive line, I got questions. Aaron Philo, I got questions. But these wide receivers are wanting to come and visit. Why is that? And we could say, hey, we're throwing money. Listen, we all know that there is a plethora of schools that are throwing cheddar. Eric Singleton will be a phenomenal fit in a lot of different offenses. LSU, Indiana, Texas Tech. The guy would crush in all of them. Crush in all of them. But here's where our advantage is. We've got his previous OC where he had his best year, his best 2 years. And we have his past wide receiver coach. There's familiarity. There's an understanding of how I'm going to function in this offense. He trusts the coaching staff that much. It's not about the individual player. And I kind of like it. Because we had it. We had the guy. We had the 5-star quarterback that was supposed to come and save it and put everything together. We forgot the other part of it. You got to coach it. You got to train it, and you got to put the rest of it on the football field. Now it's like, look, we don't necessarily need the 5-star guy. I just need my guy that understands what we can do and put a good coaching staff together. The rest of it will come together. And here's my thing. What was our concerns too? What was a big thing we talked about when the staff was hired? And I said this too, was recruiting. There wasn't anyone on the staff that had the flashiness or a history of great recruiting. But I also said, if you got to tell me that I've got a great coaching staff and development staff, I can tell you how to recruit. I can teach you how to talk to somebody and show them how they're going to work into a system, right? Very easy. Just call me up. But they don't. He calls, and I tell him what's up. You got Coach Johnny flying to kids' houses left and right in PJs with everybody. On an interview, and we're going to talk more about this interview because it's phenomenal. I didn't realize this. He flew his whole damn family to go see Jaden Ball on Christmas Eve. If I would have known that, I wouldn't even have sweated. The bitch was signed 3 months ago. No, I'm talking the kids, the wife, the goldfish, the hamster, okay? The whole sons of bitches flew to Georgia on Christmas Eve. Everybody, okay? The cat and all of them. Swear to goodness. When I heard that, I was like, this guy, that's what recruiting is. That's what it's about. It's not hard. It's not hard to figure out how to talk to a young man, show him his future. Because I have heard some of these guys have taken less to come play for Florida than they were being offered elsewhere because they made them see how they were going to fit. They made them understand, which I told you, it's like, hey, don't worry about $250,000. I'm going to make you a superstar so you can make millions of dollars. And Eric Singleton, now is a great transition, and we're rolling, so keep up or sit down because I'm rocking and rolling here today. Eric Singleton was going to the NFL draft. That was mentioned about a week or two ago. And I was like, go get it, kid. Go get it, kid. Here's what happened. Had a down year last year at Auburn. Had some head scratchers. Probably to put his name into the NFL draft. Sitting at 5'10", 180. It's like, not sure if we could go your route, big dog. Probably got a poor grade. It reminds me of someone else who got a poor grade. His name was Ricky Pearsall. We actually interviewed him on the year when he came back, and we know what he did. First rounder, my boy. First rounder. I guarantee he was about 4th or 5th when he was going to go. First rounder is what he ended up being. So Eric Singleton sees, all right, my draft stock is atrocious versus what it would have been if I could have entered my sophomore year. The guy was the hottest thing on the market 2 years ago. This guy was the Cam Coleman of last year's portal. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't, okay? Because I'm right. And he sees an opportunity. I got to go. Hey, this is my contract year. I got to go do it. This guy could probably get wide receiver 1 money. And I'm sure Florida's going to pay him a hefty amount, but I don't think he's going to get what he could get elsewhere. I'm going to be honest with you. And maybe I'm wrong. I'm shooting from the hip here. I'm going to be quite honest with you. But I'm looking around. It's like, look, right now it's like, Eric, we need each other, right? We both kind of have leverage here. We're putting together a little bit of a super unit, okay? Thanos is putting his rocks in his armor here. Do you want to be a part of this? You've got an opportunity here to cash it. We'll make sure that you're well compensated. But you know, Buster's like, hey, hello. You know how you do in this offense, big dog. And if I can get you to do what you did 2 years ago with Hanks King and no Jaden Ball and no Dallas Wilson, brother, it was just you last time. Now look, I got him, and him they got to worry about. You're all going to eat, dog. You know why you're all going to eat? Because I got a 3-headed monster back here that I can dump it off to. You're like, hey, but what about Aaron Philo? Bitch, I can throw the ball at this point. You're either handing it or just throwing it in the air. Somebody's going to catch some bitch. You know what I'm saying? And they got like 19 tight ends coming. I don't know if they're blocking or catching. Don't matter. Look, I don't take me much to get fired up. We know that. Y'all been watching this shit for so damn long. I'm a crackhead, okay? I'm aware of that. No big deal. It's different. It is moving and flowing like it should. It's the off season. It's all on paper. You're gonna see the haters in the comments. Off season champs. But the only team right now that can run their mouth in the comments is Miami. The rest of y'all bastards, you're sitting on the couch like the rest of us. So I don't give a damn. It's 2026, my guy. Okay? What do you always tell Florida? That was so long ago. As far as I'm concerned, 2025 was 10 years ago, my guy. You hear me? We are at a new regime. Good riddance. New year, new me, baby. I'm like a goldfish. I don't even know what happened yesterday. You're trying to remind me what happened last year? No. Not going to do it. Not going to fall for it. We got to hear TV. What positions now are major needs for us? $2. We'll get into that. Here in just a minute. These are great questions you guys are asking. Do you think we can get wee in the portal? Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't really taken any conversations. I'm seeing the Discord trying to get a feel. The wee connection was from the past staff. So will there be a correlation to this staff? I don't know. Obviously, him and Trammell played together, so maybe Trammell can be like, hey, y'all go check them out. If they go get wee, that would be just like, because they're just doing it because they can at that point. You know? They're just like, yeah, sure, just add them to the list. No big deal. And then I might go, hey, are we watching the funds to who's got the card? You know what I mean? I'm kidding. Keep spending, dog. Keep spending. Go Gators. Great work, bros. Appreciate it, my man. $2 from Michael Harrington. And then we got the truth. Big money. Johnny. Rain, snow, or sunny. Go Gators. Go Gators. We got 800 people in here and not 300 likes. I'm not saying I'm upset. Just saying I'm just disappointed. That's all. That's all that I'm saying. We got him? No way. Wow, again? You tell me Johnny doesn't watch the show? Shut up. He didn't commit while I was on my rant. Tell me he didn't commit while I was on the rant. This is like they're 3 weeks in a row now. Y'all messing with me? Don't do this shit to me. No, he hasn't committed yet. Don't do this, bro. Don't do this. I don't see that he's committed. Y'all got me all hyped up for nothing. Damn, dog. Y'all got me fired up for nothing. Damn. Georgia Tech linebacker, Jaha Butler. 34 tackles and 1 interception this season. He's in the portal. Hey-oh, heads up. Heads up, Daniel Rivera, you said it was different last year. It was different last year. We went 4-8. I just didn't know if it was gonna be a good or bad kind of different. Anything else? Keep moving. Listen, we can dip and dodge all day long, baby. It was supposed to be different. I can only do so much, brother. I don't play on the football field, dog. Like I love when Georgia fans get in here and they get upset about our optimism. Like the enviness that oozes out of you. I'm sorry that you guys can't enjoy yourselves like we Florida fans do, right? Like you guys get so upset about our happiness. We're not even talking to you, dog. Like if we're crazy and we're just lunatics, then let us be lunatic. That's like making fun of the homeless guy on the side of the road for talking to himself. Just let him be him, baby. He's probably the happiest cocoon that could ever be. Why are you worried about it? Because you got your own problems, dog. And you trying to project your feelings. Listen, don't get it twisted. We can do this all day long. There's a reason why I got the mic and you got the keyboard. Because you need time to think about it. I don't need time to think about it. I go right here all day long. That's why I do call-in shows. Megan, I seen you call in. It takes you like 30 seconds to articulate a sentence, brother. Come on, big dog. You know what I mean? They got me bad. They did get me bad. Not yet. $2. I look down at the chat. And everyone's like, we got him. And I'm fired up. Blood's pumping. So I feel good. He just entered into the portal. So here we go. Oh, look at this from Crummy here. Corey Bender, shout out our guy Corey Bender from On 3. Go give him a follow. My man has been putting in all the guys on 3 have been putting in the overtime. Former Texas wide receiver Wee Wee is lining up a visit with the Florida Gators as he works through the NCAA transfer portal. Wee Wee! Wee Wee! Oh boy. Could we come a complete 180? Could we turn this thing around and I can whip out the Wee Wee? Not like that. Not like that. That was pause. That's the outfit. It's the Wee Wee outfit. That was gonna get clipped. That was not how that was supposed to come out. All right? That was on me. That was on me. That was on me. That was on me. Another one. Yes. Talk about Old Dominion, Ja'Cory Thomas, who's visiting. He's a stud. Another wide receiver. Dude, the amount of wide receivers, because we have the Duke transfer that I think that he is visiting or heard he has visited. We talked about him in this morning show with Cody, very twitchy. The amount of wide receivers that are visiting are out of control. I haven't even had a chance to look at Ja'Cory, if I'm being quite honest with you. But let's take a look. Let's look at the stats from last year. We'll pull up his PFF here while we're here on the show. He had 719 yards receiving last year, 41 catches. Remember, he had Colton Joseph, who we looked at very shortly early on in the period. I think he committed to Wisconsin, if I remember correctly. 5 touchdowns last year. Yeah, you guys got me. Yeah. Zahir just signed a deal for the Florida Gators. He's gonna make it 500. Look, they're signing everybody right now. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys could be signed to the staff, right? Look, I knew this comment was coming. You've been hitting the slope shot, brother. Listen, I'm high on life, big dog. I got this morning. We went for like a nice big walk. I played some disc golf with the boys. Look, when I get outside, the sun is shining, the bloods are flowing. And when Johnny starts doing Johnny type things, I get dialed in. What you want me to do? And here's the other secret. I hadn't had coffee in about a week. Kind of took a little bit of a time off. Took a little sippy sip. You know what I mean? So it's like that quick little zoom. Like it hits at a different level. Right? Because you kind of cleanse from it, and it's like the first time you hit coffee again, and I'm like a perfect little regime right now. Because it wasn't that good, so I drank a little bit of it, and I'm perfect. Just calibrated just right. Calibrated just right, big dog. Oh yeah, I'm dialed in. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at wide receiver here. Take a look at his PFF grade. For one thing, I love wide receivers from anywhere. I don't care what they play. If you're fast, twitching, catch a football, I'm all about it. You know what I mean? Like that's what I look for. Let's see here. Woo! Come on, baby. 6'3". 210. Dog. PFF grade of a 75. Receiving grade of 75.2. I like it. They got size. They've got speed. They've got twitchiness. What do you want? They got it. Nayshawn Montgomery, I think, is the last one they're waiting to see what he does. That was the last name I don't believe has made a decision yet, but that's it. High top OnlyFans as well. That is crazy. That is crazy. Cody may or may not have an OnlyFans. I'm not sure. Let's see here. Who y'all got for tonight's game? Who y'all got for tonight's game? We getting both. We got Singleton is what On 3 said. Where? Don't do this to me. Y'all think Johnny's got the notifications turned on? And he's, hey, they're live, rock and roll. But what is this? Hell of a graphic, by the way. Whoever made that. See, DJ McKinney, cornerback from Colorado. Guy's a stud. Went from Oklahoma State to Colorado. Has committed to Notre Dame. Great job by Notre Dame. Notre Dame's been pretty quiet in the transfer portal, so they've had some few pickups here as of late. They're picking up some steam here. No doubt about it. Yeah, Sig and the boys for sure. Sig and the boys for sure. All right. 900 people. Let's see if we get to 400 likes before we wrap this thing up. I was hoping we get ourselves a nice little commit. Look, man, this transfer portal has been absolutely electric. This adds now, I think, us to 17 transfer portal kids. So keep in mind, we had 24 transfer out. 17 have committed in. 17 have committed in. And of those 17, I don't think it's counting Jaden Woods, which in my eyes is a commitment in. All right? So you can do what you want with that. But Harrison Moore, O-Lineman, Emeka O-Lineman, Carter Milron, which was a long snapper. You need one of those guys. Cam Dooley, the safety from Kentucky. You've got Micah Mays, wide receiver. You've got Emmanuel Abajado, bruv, the defensive lineman, the monster. Egan Boyer, offensive tackle. Patrick Durkin, punter. Alec Clark, kicker. Aaron Philo, TJ Shannon, Evan Pryor. And then DK Colo, and the last two are Lakota Dupree and DJ Coleman is your transfer portal class as of now. As of now. And again, I would add Jaden Woods to that because he did go into the transfer portal, but we're not going to get any credit for that. That's okay. That's okay. Big time retention there from the staff. I can't wait till once it's kind of all closed, we'll take a full look at it. And we probably can do a show in the next couple of days to see where it's at, get a visual of how things look with all the guys that are committed and go, what else is needed? Because mind you, I think this puts us right around 75. So you got about 10 to 15 more dudes because the new scholarship is 105. I'm not saying they're going to get to that 105 number, but I'd expect them to get to that 85 mark as close as they possibly can, right? So I'm thinking about 10 more to 15 more dudes, and it's probably because some depth pieces. I would imagine a few more wide receivers just because we are, and it may seem like we have a lot, but you got to have a lot back there. O-line is full. I'm not saying you can't go get more, but from a number perspective, they're healthy there. Defensive line, I think you go get one or two more. The edge room, I've kind of convinced myself he might be good. He might be in a good place. Go get me a defensive line guy. You're solid at linebacker, and then maybe another cornerback, like a guy at cornerback position. The safety room is coming together tonight. Like one more of those guys, I believe, is what we're looking at. All right? $2. My man, thank you for the $2. I appreciate it. And we're going to close it down here with the Martha song because why not, right? $5. The amount of people who watch and don't take 2 seconds to hit the like button is ridiculous. Hit the like button. Come on, baby. Let them know, humble hater. Just smash it one time. Just smash it one time. We're working overtime. Sean, what positions are we deficient in? Again, I at this point, it's not about necessarily deficient. I think we have a nice quantity. The point is going to be is quality plus the quantity that we need to look at, and that's why I've got to see it all on paper. I've got it in my head, I think, but I'm probably missing a few dudes. That quarterback room, it's super young. That's my only concern. A lot of talent, a lot of upside, but it's young, right? So that's what I've got to take a look at, along with the safety and nickel room as well. So true nose tackle is where everyone's kind of heads at. And I think that's what I want to take a look at. See what Brendan Bett, Jamari Lyons, maybe they bring in this Emmanuel guy into that position. I don't know. His size may not be big enough. So those are things that I'll have to take a look at, and we'll figure all that out. But
here y'all.
Smash it, like it. Great to see as always, boys. Keep it rolling, keep it hot, keep it fresh. Blue 80!
Dragged into this mess.
Hey!
It's Martha Mondays, baby.
Peace and love, baby.
Coated from high top, orange and blue in my vein. Got Miss Martha on the porch, twin sister on the phone, ringing again. 70 years young, but she still throw the horns up. Sipping craft while the Gators run the score up. Sweet tea and cold brew, orange and blue. Martha and Cody, what we finna do? This IPA tastes like a lawnmower's dream, but I give it 8.5.
Peace and love, baby. Go get it.
Team.